Welcome back, everybody, to the Oakland A's franchise on MLB The Show 23. We're in the All-Star game here in Season 4. Our Oakland A's are off to a 49-42 start, and our few All-Stars are a big reason why. Here are the starters, and the only starter we have is the pitcher, Michael Soroka. He's been the top pitcher in the American League this season with a 1.86 ERA and a .94 whip. This signing has been one of our best in the series to this point. We have our ace, as we have been really making some big progress this year in the rebuild. We have a couple other All-Stars we'll focus on here in this game. I don't plan on playing the entire All-Star game, but we will definitely get a couple innings in with Michael Soroka. We face Xander Bogaerts to lead off the game and falling behind 2-1. Soroka, the 3-1 is away, ball 4 as Bogaerts draws the walk. That'll bring up Bryan Reynolds from the Pittsburgh Pirates, and Soroka misses again. Lifted for Julio Rodriguez in center field, and Soroka gets his first out. Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Atlanta Braves with a man on, way out in front. Former Braves teammates here going head-to-head, and this one might not have enough as Acuna took it easy on his old teammate. It's Mookie Betts with 2 down, strike 1. Into left, and Soto's got this one, and Soroka gets out of the first. We'll get 2 innings in here with Soroka as he misses over the plate to Austin Riley. Strike 2 inside with the heater. Got him with a great changeup away. Strike 3. From the Miami Marlins, Brian De La Cruz. On the ground, and Seager cannot make the play. Base hit. Matt Olson's turn now, the former A. Got the outside to even the count, 2 apiece. Lifted into the gap. Soto is over, and that's another fly ball out for Michael Soroka. And the catcher, Danny Jansen, as Soroka hopes to get out of here without an earned run allowed. And a base hit center field. Rodriguez tracks it down again. And now first and third for the National League. And it's the Padres' second baseman, Ha-Sung Kim, who lines it foul. And into left softly in front of Soto, and a run scores. So Soroka does give up the second inning run. We'll see if we can limit it to only that. Xander Bogaerts returning to Boston here for the All-Star game. Struck him out, and that'll be Soroka's outing here in the All-Star game. I just want to see what it's like to hit with Pete Alonso quick. Sandy Alcantara is the opening pitcher here for the National League. And a drive, left field and deep. Alonso back and gone over the monster. I just wanted to see what it was like. Of course, last episode he hit 2 homers off of us. We got to deal with him as the cleanup hitter for the Astros. And Trout to left center field. This one is over the monster as well. We're just going to homer with all of our rival stars. I'm just trying to get warmed up for the A's games we're going to play later today. Shohei Ohtani is entering the game to pitch, as I wanted to get in one more at-bat with Teoscar Hernandez. Remember, we signed him a couple years ago and then traded him to the New York Yankees for Trey Sweeney. And the Yankees re-signed him, and obviously he's here in the All-Star game, so things are going pretty well as Shohei makes me look foolish on the slider. I'm just happy he's out of the American League West. 2 strikes on Teoscar. On the ground, we put it in play. A respectable ground out. All right, one more here with Julio Rodriguez facing Shohei. Whoa, he hits him. And there is Vladimir Guerrero Jr., our best player this season. 20 homers in the first half. Love having him on this team. How can you not? We're hoping we can build a winner around him while he's here in Oakland. High drive, left field and deep. And it's caught in front of the monster. Little Rockies franchise throwback here. We got Zach Gallen in the game facing Austin Riley. Getting ahead quickly, 0-2. Struck him out. And of course, the big star in the Rockies franchise turned out to be Rafael Devers. I need one at-bat with him today. This is actually a lot of fun. I wasn't expecting to do a lot with other players in this game, but it's too good to pass up here, as Devers will, unfortunately, not have a special moment here. We got another at-bat here in the 8th inning. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. You know, watching Vladdy win the Derby last night made me really sad that I didn't get to have a home run derby with him in the previous episode. He just missed making the cut here in Season 4. He was 1 homer off. Would have been a tie with a couple other players. Duvall pitching him like this game counts for something. And it's on the ground. Backhanded at second. And he's out. We only had 3 All-Stars this season. And to my surprise, Alex Reyes actually wasn't one of them. Domingo Acevedo got the All-Star appearance instead. I don't know what happened exactly. But Acevedo's pitched at an All-Star level for us as a closer for a few years. This is not a save situation. It's a 6-2 game. But we'll see if he can close it out all the same. Strike 2 to Danny Jansen. On the ground, Jose Ramirez on the grass. Makes the play. Nice stretch by Vladdy. Don't hurt yourself, though. Tapped it. Ramirez now the other way. Makes the second out. And Francisco Lindor comes off the bench. Quickly ahead of Lindor, 0-2. Struck him out. Acevedo slams the door on the National League as we win the All-Star game 6-2. That was fun. We've never played the All-Star game in this franchise before, and we've never had multiple All-Stars in a season, I'm pretty sure, until now. That was a good time. And the next milestone on the season is going to be the trade deadline, July 31st. We got a few weeks to prepare. Oh, we have the AAA All-Star game now. I just wanted to see who made it this year, and the only AAA All-Star is actually George Williams, who is a 73 overall. He is 20 years old, and he's pitched at a pretty high level this year. I had him start, I think, a little bit. Actually, no, not at all. 0 games started. But in the bullpen, he's been very good. And here in the second half, you know, I wouldn't rule out a potential call-up. But everybody's back from the All-Star festivities. We've got to get back to the grind here in July. We sit at 49 and 42 in the American League West, tied for 3rd place. And that tie will be broken with this series against the Mariners. In the first half, we registered the number 6 batting average, scoring the 13th most runs, again tied with Seattle, hitting the 3rd most doubles, the most triples, and the 20th most home runs. Combined with an on-base percentage that ranks 11, we have a good offense. Pitching is a little more complex as we have some guys developing, some mainstays on the roster, but we're right in the middle of the pack. Cody Bellinger, without a doubt, is the best player we could potentially trade, and I have found a couple trade options here that I think would be really appealing. I've actually seen these trades suggested, and I haven't found anything yet that I like more. But the Los Angeles Dodgers, to me, have always made sense for a return for Cody Bellinger, as he could easily step into a starting role immediately. They could re-sign him, and they have a couple players down at AAA that would be intriguing. Miguel Vargas at second base has a potential. I imagine trading for him would not be very easy. He does have a fair amount of big league experience, over a full season's worth across 4 individual years. His bat hasn't been great, but he does draw enough walks to help accrue some value there, and at AAA this season, he's done a very good job. But there's also Andy Pages, right-handed outfielder, has power, which is exactly what we've been looking for, B potential, 25 years old. I don't think we're going to find a better option to acquire than Pages. I'll keep looking, but I think I really want to acquire him. They've already used 2 of his 3 options. He has 80 games of Major League experience where he's played at a pretty solid level in that time. They have him as a 1.3 WAR player, and if you made this basically, 80 games, just double all that, then he'd basically be between 2 and 3 WAR, which is like solid starter. Miguel Vargas, on the other hand, is a 2.5 WAR player in his Major League career with about a full season worth of playing time, so we have 2 really good options, I think, to acquire from the Dodgers, and Pages would likely be the easier one to get, who really fits what we need. If we want to make this trade, though, it will not be straight up Cody Bellinger for Andy Pages. We'd be required to give up a little bit more. But again, I'm not making the trade right now because you never know what's going to happen here. If we went on like an extremely long winning streak and it looked more likely we can make a dangerous run, then you don't have to make the move there. But with that being said, why don't we continue on here and get out of the All-Star break with a loss to the Seattle Mariners, 5-3. We're also going to be signing our draft picks. Yusniel Cruz, the newest first-round pick. He's looking for a pretty healthy bonus here, but I don't imagine this will be difficult to re-sign or get everybody under contract. And he does sign for a shade under $9 million. Marco da Silva was our second pick, only 95% scouted, but we're still going to be offering him a deal. He declined the first offer of $1.5 million. Forrest Battle has signed. And I might as well finish up some of the scouting here. We were declined by Rudolph as well, but I'll do a little more scouting on guys like Guerrero before I offer the deal. We do that every 3 days, so we're going to kind of be back and forth here in that thing. Luis Estrella has come off the injured list, and that reminds me of something I intended to do once he did. We dropped that game, unfortunately. But Luis Estrella, who has not really played well in any of his professional seasons, is going to be sent down to Single A to see if he can start to get things right. You know, down here, you're still going to see guys develop a bit. You got Reggie Rankin, for instance, last year's third-round selection, and he is getting some development and will get called up at Double A, and right now is probably a good time just to take over that roster spot. But I'm kind of out of ideas here with Estrella. He's just not hitting well at AAA, hitting really badly at AA. So I might as well play him at Single A and see if at least we get a little development, because he's only gotten worse, rating-wise. So we've already lost this series to the Seattle Mariners, and we're trying to avoid a sweep. And it's bottom of the 9th inning. Griffin Jacks facing Juan Soto. Can we get to the extra innings? Strike one. On the ground, Arraez gets to it and spins and throws to first. Another all-star in Julio Rodriguez as Jacks misses away. Driven high and hard out to right field, but Capel runs it down on the warning track. Franmil Reyes. Whoa, he wanted to end the game right there. Strike two, it's by him. Grounded. Geloff on the first hop. Makes the play, and we have extra innings. Luis Arraez is the extra inning runner, and we will instead look to have the speed of Daryl Arraez in the game. And Zach Geloff with a double and a single on the day will be our first to hit in the 10th against John Brebbia. And that's into left field. Arraez will retreat one down. And there's Vladdy. 20 home runs on the season. Had a very hot start to the year. I thought he cooled off a little bit with the power in the month of June. And now a drive left center field. Arraez is set up and won't bother tagging as Rodriguez makes the catch. And that'll bring us to Cody Bellinger, one of the most valuable players on the team this season. And that is in the air right field. Just some easy fly ball outs, and we go bottom 10. Jax worked pretty quickly in the 9th, so he's out there again to start off the 10th. Ty France does not appear like he's about to square up for a bunt. Driven to center. Down for a hit. Gonna wave the runner home. Gordon's throw. Not in time. And the Mariners walk us off for a sweep in the first series post All-Star break. That hurts. 49 and 42 going into the break. And in just a few days, you know, if you have a bad series and you get swept, those 3 games can do a bit of damage. The Angels have called us up for a trade offer. Paul Blackburn for Jo Adell. I'm kind of interested in this one. Adell was a very highly regarded prospect with them who just has not panned out. He's crushed AAA pitchers, but he hasn't quite figured it out at the big league level. Here in this series now, he's gotten more experience, and it still hasn't gone well. In his career, he's a negative 2.2 WAR player, and they're giving up on him and his 35% strikeout rate. There was a time when Adell was an extremely intriguing player, and maybe now this is the fresh start that he needs. Adell is also out of options, and he's at the big league level. So that's the one thing, like, if you're not ready to have him on your big league roster right now, well, you have to DFA him. And I wonder if there's like a chance they'll just DFA him and we can put in a claim, but then we'd be in the same boat either way, trading for him or claiming him. I don't think I could claim him and then assign him to AAA. I'd love to give Jo Adell another chance on this team, though. I think I'm going to hold on to that one as well, just because if I add him to the roster right now, that hurts a guy like Deshaun Knowles' playing time, because he'd have to be on the big league roster. If we have room later, if we end up making enough moves to where we have a chance, then I'll reconsider. I've looked at Jo Adell before as an option for us to try and like give a second chance, and I'd like to do it at some point. Just not right now. We now have Marco Da Silva under contract, along with Juan Cabrera. Interesting, I'm not allowed to offer a contract right now to Derek Patterson. I wonder if the interest has to be higher. It's unlocked for everybody else, but maybe that 35 interest keeps us from even having a chance. Joe Michael has a shutout going. It's 3-0 Oakland. I screwed up his last one. It's time for redemption. Ha-Sung Kim with a runner in scoring position. Last time I was in this situation, I gave up a homer on the first pitch. Now it's a pop-up, and Arraez will head into the outfield for the out. There's a strike, top of the zone. Michael, 2-2 on Machado. On the ground, Arraez can't make the play, and they'll wave home the runner. Gordon's throw, not in time, and the Padres break up the shutout. Nice piece of hitting there by Manny, not trying to do too much. Padres get on the board. And now, Fernando Tatis Jr., who is the tying run. Pitching him very carefully here. Santander is on deck, and we'll take our chances pitching to him. Can Michael get us one more? Having trouble locating here. This is going to be the last batter that Michael faces. And he walked him on 4 pitches. I was just trying to throw a fastball right down the middle there. I think Michael's done for the day. It's Bobby Dahlbeck now. And it's going to be Alex Arraez coming into the game now. Michael does not complete the shutout, but a good outing. That's all we're looking for this year. Here's Alex Arraez, and I don't know what happened to what should have been an all-star appearance. He was like 3rd or 4th in votes, and Acevedo was like 4th or 5th at closer. So I never expected get into the game and see him there. Bases loaded. Oakland trying to end a losing streak of 4 games. Strike 1 to Dahlbeck. On the ground, it's through. A run will score. Bellinger fires as the Padres tie things at 3. 3 runs in the 8th inning, and the A's are in some trouble. He strikes out Grisham to finish up the inning, but the damage is done. We could really use a run here off of Ryan Weathers. He's a lefty facing Zach Geloff. This at-bat will determine if Geloff is still a 300 hitter or not. He's on the dot, 300. In the air, center field, and caught. And now Connor Capel's going to hit. We have 2 down. Capel's played really well this year. And if we trade Cody Bellinger and we're looking for more players to start, Capel's going to be, I think, a pretty good Bellinger replacement. As a lefty who offers some power, doesn't hit lefties great, and he's a guy that's drawn a lot of walks as well. Capel is under it, and we just can't get a good swing in these last 2 games. What's going on? Acevedo's going to enter the game here to force extra innings. I have another pitcher in mind if we can get to the 10th. Acevedo, he gets strikeouts for us. He's not bad at that, but, when you have that runner at second base right away, I want our best strikeout guy there. Xander Bogaerts, as the lineup turns over. 2-1. Waved at it for strike 2. 2-2. Miss low. Ha-Sung Kim is on deck. To the 10th we go. Strike 3. Drew Steckenrider is going to enter the game with a 3.67 ERA. And we'll see how this extra inning affair goes. Trey Sweeney leads off for the A's. In the air, center field. And coming in. It's just been lazy fly balls in like the few innings I've played with us. Mostly good timing swings, just not getting the contact we're searching for. On the ground and in front of the runner, out number 2. It's up to Luis Arraez. On the ground and right at second base, Arraez retired. The A's go down in order yet again. And here comes Zach Jackson. 34 strikeouts in 33 innings. I do like him as a fit in these situations. The other rating you have to keep in mind, though, is pitching clutch, because you have that runner right at second base right away. His clutch is 65, which is decent. It's a rating that can be a whole lot lower for some players. Bogaerts at second, right down the middle with a strike. Watch out with that changeup. God, you're trying to lose us the game right there. In the air for Knowles and right. Will Bogaerts advance? He'll try to at least, as the throw from Knowles Comes in late. Put the infield in. And try to keep Bogarts at third. And they tried the bunt play again. Unreal. Why do they always do this? To the 11th we go. Just like in the previous game, Arraez is going to run for Luis Arraez. Cody Bellinger has 2 homers in this game and a double. Man, Cody would have been a great all-star selection for us this season. I wonder how close he was. Bellinger up the middle. It won't get through, but the runner does advance, and he's out by a half step. Feel like we can't find a hit right now. I guess we'd take a sac fly, but Vladdy's not going to be the one to hit it. Logan Davidson. Here's his chance. I got to lay off some of this low stuff here. I've been grounding into some double plays, just taking the bait. And that is the bait right there. Not falling for the 12-6. That was a better one, but pounded foul. It's a 2-2 count. Up and in, 3-2. Fouled back a fastball right down the middle. Strike 3. Good changeup away. 2 down. Zach Geloff will hit with 2 away. Fouled back. Geloff working a 2-2 count here against Steckenrider. Strike 3 on the 12-6. Thought it was going to drift just outside. And we'll go to the bottom of the inning again. The A's offense not getting it done for us. And now, Fernando Tatis Jr. and a whole lot of speed at second base. Strike 1. You know, in this spot here, I think you have to pitch him extremely carefully. If you walk him, you know, only the runner at second base matters right now. And he puts it in play. But now you've got plenty of speed at third base and an out to play with. Will they go with their ridiculous bunt strategy again? Bobby Dahlbeck is the reason we're in extra innings right now. Bobby has 69 speed. You can double that up if it's hit at somebody. There's a good changeup from Jackson. On the ground, Davidson, here we go, and we're on to the 12th inning. Zach Jackson gets us out of the mess. You know, I thought about stepping on the bag here. It would have been maybe 2 steps, but I just don't think that in the show especially, you're going to make that as smooth as you need it to be. And, you know, it was hit right to him, so he didn't have to go that way in the first place. Man, we got to score, though. We're not going to get away with this again. Deshaun Knowles hitting in the 12th. There's a moderate amount of speed there at second base. Down and in. Knowles right to short. You got to be kidding me. Come on. Connor Capel, the Rookie of the Year. Strike 1. He's attacking him here, and I wasn't ready for that. Got to watch out for a slurve here or a circle change. Hits him. So that gets us Trey Sweeney and a fresh at-bat. We've seen the sinker now a couple times. Bounced it right back to Loizaga, and that's a double play. Man, we just can't get hits right now. This is unreal. We're getting good pitches with good swings, and we can't find any of that green space out there you need. Feels like there's 25 guys on the field. Jackson has only thrown 12 pitches. He's still got gas in the tank. Let's go. In the air for Bellinger. And there's out number 1. Blow it by him. I don't know how he does it with a low to mid-90s fastball. And that's down the line. Hooking foul. Luis Campusano takes the slider. Struck him out. We're going to make Manfred want to put the runner at third base instead. We're on to the 13th inning. How many extra innings have we played already in this video? Daniel Susac. Nice slurve. Remember those warm-up swings I took with Pete Alonso and Mike Trout? Let's go back to that. A runner at second. No, don't chase that. Susac is 0 for 4 on the day. Oh, God. I'm not sure what I was doing in that at-bat. 1 down for Darell Arraez. Remember, he came in the game for Luis Arraez. Loaizaga's got some pretty good stuff here. Line drive. It's down. Send him home. We need it. He's safe. We got a run. Darell Arraez finally gives us a hit. 4-3 game. Bellinger behind it. And now you've got pretty good speed there on base with Arraez. 0-1 and 0-2. Bellinger rocks it to center field. Arraez turns the corner. Hustles his way into third base. We still got 1 down. Facing Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Oh, when I saw that up, I'm like, please break. It didn't. I wanted that to be a slurve. Right over where the batter's eye is on the screen. Ooh, that was one Vladdy can drive. I know it. He hit that one for a homer in the Derby a few times, I'm pretty sure. Strike 2 from Loaizaga. Almost. He pulled it down the line, and he's just trying to hit that inside edge. Does eventually the plan change like a slurve away? Nope. Not falling for it. He has thrown 6 consecutive pitches in the same location. There it is. It's the slurve. 3-2 to the Derby King. Strike 3. So you want that 2-run lead here in the extra innings, and now it takes a hit from Logan Davidson. And we won't try to advance on that one as he continues to attack low. How many pitches is he at? 27. It's a lot of pitches here for Loaizaga. On the ground and played at short. We hope the 1 was enough. Xander Bogaerts in the top of the order up for the Padres. Zach Jackson's at 22 pitches. Kim and Eli White are on deck. Really don't want to bring in a lefty here in Gonzalez. I don't know. Do we ride the hot hand here in Zach Jackson? This is unlike anything I've let him do in the series. Fouled off. A perfect slider. All right, he's getting tired, though. Susac smothers it. Base hit right field. Knowles will throw it home. And it's too late. Tie game. 3 innings from Zach Jackson wasn't going to happen. I don't have Acevedo right now. I don't have Alex Reyes. He was working quick, so I kept him in. Just did not trust putting in a lefty. When you got Bogarts up and Kim, and then Tatis is not far off, Machado. But I can't pitch Jonathan Hernandez. Like, I'm probably going to be DFAing him at some point. Tapped it. The runner at first will advance, so it's basically a bunt, and he almost bunted for a hit. 2 quick strikes on Eli White. We need this one for sure. Popped him up. All right, Davidson's under this one. I want Tatis to walk directly from the dugout to first base. Anthony Santander. Strike 1. And strike 2. Blasted to center field. Game over. Padres walk us off. And the losing streak continues. 5 straight for the Oakland A's. Just left the slider over the plate. Couldn't bury it. That's why I didn't want to pitch any lefties. They got so much power in this lineup. I could have pitched Hoagland, but his pitching clutch isn't great. You know, this wasn't the type of game for Hoagland. Soderstrom sprained his elbow today. He'll be out for a couple games, it looks like. I'm sorry, this is actually a 6-game losing streak that predates the All-Star game by a couple days. We haven't won now in 11 days. As you can probably imagine, this is our longest losing streak of the season. 6 games. No other losing streak has gone further than 4. This is officially the most adversity we've faced in Season 4. And since the break, we haven't broken 4 runs. That allows the Mariners to quickly, with that sweep, all of a sudden, be up 3.5 games on us. And that puts us into this cluster of teams for a wild card spot. I want to take a quick break here from the Major League action. Just checking on waiver wire and DJ Stewart. Not going to pick him up, but I guess I'm wondering if the Angels will actually waive Joe Adell. I feel like somebody above us in the rankings might actually claim him, but just thinking about that. I wanted to give you a minor league update, though. There are a few guys that have been catching my attention lately, and one of the most notable is infielder Max Muncy, who's hitting 300 at AAA, and he's really coming together as a complete player. I'm very excited about him. His defense is all in the 70s. He offers you some contact, and the power, I think, is a work in progress, but I think eventually he'll be able to give us something there. He's slugging .411 this year, has 4 homers. Probably not going to be like an overwhelming power hitter, but can you give us enough? He's never been called up, never been on the 40-man roster. He is very, very close. I mentioned earlier that I'm thinking about DFAing Jonathan Hernandez. Now, yes, he has a good overall and everything, but just looking at his stats and trying to be realistic here, no one would trade for him. So if we do that, who replaces him? Well, at the AAA level, you got Henry Vasquez, who is our WAR leader right now in pitching at the AAA level at 76 overall. Vasquez has a 4.37 ERA at the moment, a 1.44 whip, and is a 2.2 WAR player. These stats are a little more useful. Him and George Williams are the 2 players you could consider calling up, and Williams was, of course, the All-Star. Looking at FIP, those 2 have both been very good. Vasquez is a high strikeout pitcher, and, you know, when you're in extra innings, and you know there's already a runner at second base, Vasquez is the type of pitcher I'd be calling in. George Williams, I think he can also do a bit of that. Both of these pitchers have low hit per 9, decent strikeout rates, good stamina. They might be starters, they might be relievers, but I think they're both solid prospects. I know Williams has C potential. I think C potential is fine at pitcher, especially when you consider reliever. Potential basically doesn't matter there. I'd be shocked if one of these two doesn't get called up at some point. Landon Sims was a reliever for us last season. He's been at AAA this year after a rough spring training and not having a spot for him this season. And he's been all right. I'm trying to get his innings up, though. And the last player I wanted to talk about here at AAA is outfielder Josh Baez. Sent him down after hitting 197 through 58 games. It was time for him to figure things out at the AAA level. Baez is hitting .245, and he's hit 5 home runs in 12 games. That type of power immediately catches my attention. I'd like to see him improve his play, though, against lefties. That is what his ratings favor, but he did not hit lefties well at the bigs to start the season. And he's 0 for 4 right now at AAA. So it's yet to be seen if that part of his game is going to get any better this year. But back to the bigs we go. The A's trying to end a 6-game losing streak. Suddenly, a few players have fallen into cold streaks. The offense hasn't been producing at a high level in their last handful of games. So we push forward. Padres trying to turn their season around. We're trying to stay afloat right now. Cody Bellinger, player lock action. Here we go. Had a 4 for 6 game in that extra inning affair, and it wasn't enough for us to get the win. Bellinger up in the first, facing Dylan Cease. Nice pickup here for the Padres. Good curveball. I'm not often late on those. That actually has some velo behind it. Or maybe it's his delivery and the way the ball comes out of his hand, because it looks like it's getting there a lot faster. Like, the delivery almost matters more sometimes than velo. You can get used to velo, but every pitcher has a different windup, and so sometimes you need to see a few pitches. Fouled back, a good fastball, and that's what we've been seeing here in this episode, is good swings on good pitches are not getting the good results at the moment. 1-2. You know, is that regression to the mean hitting us in the face? Having a young catcher hitting near 300, having Zach Geloff hit 300 plus, having Bellinger, completely turn his career around. Is this reality? Ball 4 to Cody Bellinger. Vladimir Guerrero is one of those players in a little cold streak right now. I remember for much of the year he was hitting around 260 and then got really hot. Didn't have as much power, but he brought the average up near 300. Now the average is falling again, and he's down on strikes. Logan Davidson, 238 average. Hitting cleanup here with Soderstrom recovering for a few days. And Davidson strikes out on the Dylan Cease changeup. Zach Geloff. Hitting 300 is not something I expect from him, but it's finally fallen under that mark. He's behind Dylan Cease. And he lifts it out to left field. This one is not hit deep enough. And the inning is over. The Padres have tacked on some early runs. It's 2-0, and this will find the gap. A man on again for Cody Bellinger in the third. 3-0. Already walked once. I wanted to send that one out. Couldn't catch up. On the ground, through the legs of Cease, and Bellinger reaches again. So 2 on, nobody down again for the A's, as Guerrero on an inside pitch just pops it up to short. Dylan Cease facing Davidson ahead 0-2. Strikes him out. And now Zach Geloff. Weakly hit right back to Cease. inning over. Bellinger again, top of the 5th. Behind 1-2. Miss low. High, and Bellinger works another full count. Chased one high. That was ball 4. Whoa, okay. We found some runs somewhere, and it's 4-3. Okay, you have my attention. The big inning at last for Oakland. The big hit we got was from Connor Capel with a 3-run home run. And then we had Sweeney come through with a solo shot of his own. And it's 4-3. Rolled it over, and it's through the right side as Bellinger is aboard for the 3rd time in this game. Vladdy is down looking. I'm not sure 4-3 is going to be enough. Manager wants a steal here. There goes Cody. On to second base and out. Yeah, I didn't think we needed the steal there. All right, let's advance, and it's 6-4. They did get a couple more runs. Manny Machado hitting in the 7th against Gunnar Hoagland. And that is in front of Bellinger for the 1st. Top of the 9th, it comes down to a couple more at-bats. Bellinger with 1 down. Threw it. Bellinger's 3rd hit of the day. The one guy who refuses to cool off is Cody Bellinger. He's reached for the 4th time. I'm not stealing. I have no interest in that. We need 2 runs. Vladimir Guerrero is 0 for 4 on the day. And that's in there. The closer is Giovanni Gallegos. And he strikes out Vladdy looking. These at-bats hurt to watch. We've seen Vladdy look at strike 3 a couple times. Get popped up on a pitch inside. It's up to Davidson now. The 1-2 from Gallegos. Weakly hit towards second base. The losing streak is not over. It's now 7 games. That was a 2-game sweep at the hands of the San Diego Padres, and in now 5 games since the break, we have not broken 4 runs. Now we get division games against the Rangers and the Angels. I'd like to also adjust one slider here as we approach the deadline, and that is the trade frequency slider. So there is some movement around the deadline. I'll boost that, and then I'll bump it back down for the offseason. Ideally, every episode in a series will tell a story. That's the main thing I look for, not playing X amount of games or any amount of progress, unless that's the point and that's the story. I think this tells us a pretty complete story right here. Coming out of the deadline, we're ice cold. On our worst losing streak of the season, watching the success that we've built slip away. And I already know how I want to start off next episode, so we don't need to go any further today. But now with this available here, the contract extensions, I did want to take a look at this. We've talked a lot this year about Cody Bellinger especially. His return to greatness, his becoming an 80 overall player again. If we were to want to re-sign him, 7.9, that's a little bit lower than I thought it would be. But it is an increase over what he has been making. So a 5-year deal would be about $36 million. I'm not looking to re-sign Bellinger because he's still 30 years old, and I would like to make a trade, I think, with the Dodgers. If we were to give Joe Michael a 10-year contract, it would now be worth $184 million, which I think was the same number it was last time I checked that. I guess I can get a jump start on signing a lot of these guys instead of using the time in the offseason, so maybe I'll do some of that. Thinking about Nick Gordon, who has only 1 year of team control left after this season, looks like he'll be like a $4 to $5 million a year player afterwards. We've enjoyed our success for much of year 4, but are now creeping back towards 500. And that's where our episode is going to end today. Let me know what you think of the team right now down below in the comment section. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And the A's will be back again soon as we approach the deadline. Have a great day.